Hey guys, Lex here. I just wanted to do a quick video about my new game type I created that is heavily inspired from other tabletop RPGs out there. It's called Lucky Throw, and I created this to work well with AI and also an Oracle system for solo play. But I didn't note it because I don't want it to be too I don't want it to be too limited. It's a really simple game. There's a few mechanics to consider, but this game is heavily reliant on narrative. And I've decided to start using this game type in future videos. Not all my videos. Obviously, I still play D&D with my friends and occasional solo D&D, but this is something I've been thinking about because I wanted to use luck as a major driving factor for an RPG game, a tabletop RPG. So here's the rules document. There is no character sheet because it's literally just a few lines of detail that you have to fill out. Lucky Throw is a streamlined tabletop RPG that embraces simplicity and narrative. Using a D20 system, players and the voice collaboratively weave a story where luck shapes the journey. The voice is the guide and narrator, crafts the world and its inhabitants, guiding players through the story, manages dice rolls and interprets outcomes, balancing luck and narrative. The player portrays a character, describes the character's actions and dialogue. Choices are crucial, as luck is the central to outcomes. The character creation process. You choose a name, gender, and age. There are ways you can throw a background in there to assist your narrative, to give your voice something to work off, but it's not required. A very important trait for your character is Lucky Charm. You roll a 1d6 to set your charm. This is crucial for all rolls. This is something, think of it basically modifies, it adds to your roll. It's the real only skill that your character has, the only real mechanic for your character's uh, attributes. The health is determined, the max health is 2d20s plus a 1d10. Your inventory, you can carry up to 10 items. Weapons, you can choose up to 2, but it's purely for narrative flair. Same goes for the attire. Now, I did this because, again, I wanted to make this super simple to use with AI for Oracle systems, solo play, but also for newcomers. So, touch of myself, as I'm new to D&D and have been for a few months playing now, I thought of making this that it's good for the narrative's sake. But it does help the voice out in describing how your attack works or how you get hit. So, moving on. Lucky throws. This is a very important gameplay mechanic. It's one of the few, but this is literally the heart of Lucky Throw. Lucky Throws is the core mechanic. It resolves actions through a d20 roll, adding a lucky charm. Contesting the voice, you compare your roll with the voice's counter roll, which is also d20. Equal or higher rolls wins. Key narrative junctures require lucky throw. So, for example, if my character is walking through a forest and I see a trap, like a net, that's blocking the entire path, I wish to disarm it or to find a way around. Now, the voice will call, okay, let's roll for it. I and the voice will roll for it. I have two d20 here. I rolled, mine is a lighter d20, the voice is a darker one. I rolled a 2, the voice rolls a 13. Depending on the narrative and what I chose to do, I fail. Even with, let's say I had a lucky charm modifier plus 4 based on the 1d6 roll from setup. That would be 6. I still fail. The voice would say, you trip on a vine, you fall onto the trap, you get caught in the net, and go swinging up towards the trees. Or if it was reversed, 13, and the voice has 2, the voice does not have a modifier, doesn't have a lucky charm of any sorts, then I'm successful. I can walk around, there's a way around, the trap is busted, it doesn't work, has already been used, etc. Now, and there's buffers, which is basically a combat for, it's coding for combat. It determines hits and damage through lucky throws. The difference in the roll equals the damage. So if I'm going to roll again. I roll a 6. I rolled a 7. The voice rolled a 6. I only do 1 damage. If it's reversed, let's say I roll again, and wow, the voice rolled a 19. I rolled a 1. I take 18 damage. That's it. That's how the offense works. It's whoever rolls higher, and higher the better, because the difference makes up for damage. And again, it's up to the voice to decide how many hits it takes depending on the narrative until the opponent collapses, dies, etc. Again, weapons and gear entirely for flair, does not affect your stats. And as expected, the turn order to the if there's multiple, unless it's a surprise attack, then you have the advantage. But if it's a standard approach in combat, the turn order is decided by a d20. So you'll roll if you have a certain value. If you roll a certain number, then whoever has the highest will go first in chronological order. The voice will handle the rolls for the opponents as they handle the inhabitants of the story. Your actions, you can move, you can attack, or you can use an item from your 10 item list. Now, an extra piece of flair for the mechanics is the My Lucky Day. It's an advantage on your next roll. If you roll a natural 20 on a lucky throw, you gain a one-time advantage. So for your next throw following, you can roll 2 against the voice's single d20. I rolled a 5 and a 12 without considering a lucky charm against, let's just say, a random 10. I can choose the 12 to beat the voice's 10 roll. Thus I'm successful. But it can only be done once following your prior natural 20. That way, your immediate action. However, it's not a guaranteed success. You can still choose the higher roll, but if the voice rolls something clearly higher, then it's still failure. It's just kind of an extra aid to help. It gives you an advantage, more likely to succeed, like it says in the description here. Now, the voice's guidelines basically balancing narrative and luck ensures fairness while keeping the story engaging. When a player's health reaches 0, it's up to the narrator. It's up to the narrative. The voice decides your fate. Depending on your character, what the source material is, whatever content you draw from, this is dependent on the voice. If you're clearly killed, then you're killed. But if you're unconscious or you are captured, you flee, etc., that is entirely up to the voice. Now, the only leveling up system I have in this is the milestone health boost. When to boost basically major achievements like defeating a boss, completing a pivotal quest in your story. It's the voice's call. He'll decide when a milestone is justified, and you're granted a health boost, which is a roll of a D10. Whatever you roll, you add to your max health. It's a permanent gain, and basically, like it says, symbolizing character's growth in strength and experience. The voice's role, as expected, is just choosing milestones. Not every win gets a boost. So if you complete a measly quest of finding someone's sheep, because their sheep run amok, if you get the reference, then it's just some gold. You might get some currency, etc. The voice picks the moments that push the story or the character forward. Now, keeping in balance, the health boost should feel rewarding, but doesn't make your character too tough for challenges ahead. And that's just a conclusion in Creative Commons. So, uh, that's it. That's how simple it is. Your inventory, it doesn't say here I might make that modification, but it does include your currency, whichever you use against source material. If you use from a certain Star Wars, you might use Imperial credits, etc., or just gold from fantasy. It's entirely dependent on you. So I'll be using this. I'm still making some revisions to it, but this is my really simple Lucky Throw tabletop RPG. So thanks for watching. I made this video so people can reference it in the future. If I say I'm playing Lucky Throw today, they'll be like, what's that? This is it. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.